Well, the Scarlet Knights will be back in High Point Solutions Stadium this Saturday to take on the Wisconsin Badgers in their homecoming game. Here to talk about that, I'm joined by Tom Luicci. Now, Tom, we just heard from Kyle Flood in his press conference that Gary is doing more in practice, but it still will be a game time decision. What will it mean if Chris Laviano has to step into that starting role? How do you think this offense can flourish with him in that position?
Well, I don't think it's going to change. I don't think the mindset changes. I don't think the approach changes because the one thing is Chris Laviano and Gary Nova have a similar skill set, and they still run the same offense. It's a little different. For example, when Wisconsin brings in Tanner McAvoy to replace Joel Stavi, two different style quarterbacks. One's pro style, one's more of a dual threat running type quarterback. So the offense really doesn't change. What we don't know is how Chris Laviano will handle an entire first game. It'll only be his fourth college game. He played a half last week at Nebraska, which is his most extensive action as a collegian. So to me, that's the greater unknown as opposed to the offense. They'll keep to their offense because Chris Laviano has been running that for 2 years.
And flipping to the other side of things, you mentioned McAvoy and Stave, and obviously you have to talk about Melvin Gordon also. How can Rutgers stop this Wisconsin team that's been dominant on the ground?
Well, that's the whole key to the game. I mean, if they do that, they're going to have a very good chance to win because this is the nation's #2 rushing team. They're very big. They're physical. They practically announce what they want to do. They want to run the ball, they want to be physical, and they want to run it right at you, and they're going to do that. So, how Rutgers handles that, generally Rutgers has been good against the run, not so much against Nebraska, but this is a different style running game. It's more of a power game, which I think fits into Rutgers' defense. But the other factor here, Taryn, is I think the wind may play a factor. I think it's going to eliminate a lot of the passing game and put more of a premium, even more so, on the running game. So we'll see how Rutgers handles that. But generally, you would think Rutgers' strength is in stopping the run. And the thing about Wisconsin is their passing game is not very good. If you can make them one-dimensional, that's the key to beating them because I think they're 118th nationally in passing.
And you mentioned the weather on Saturday. It's supposed to be cold and damp and a little bit windy. Does that benefit Wisconsin more or Rutgers more? In what way?
Well, actually, I think it helps both teams because they both want to run the ball. That's always been Rutgers' mindset as well. So I think it may make for a little bit of an uglier game than we would hope for, but more so than rain. But wind is generally a factor that affects the passing game. Both these teams want to run. I'll be honest with you, I'm very curious to see how good Wisconsin is because their 5 wins have all come at home. The 2 best teams that they played, they lost to LSU and Northwestern. So they have great statistics, the #1 defense in the Big Ten, but we really don't have a handle on how good they are. So this game could provide a test. It's one of their tougher games on the road.
Well, thank you so much, Tom. Again, that game will be at High Point Solutions Stadium this Saturday. Kickoff will be at noon, and it will air on ESPN. From the Rutgers practice facility with Tom Luicci, I'm Taryn Hatcher.